Hello and welcome to my channel. I came back finally after 2 years to upload my second video, and I would apologize. The thing is that I don't really have nobody to apologize to. I only have like 36 views on my last video, and half of those are mine checking how I edited that video, which was not very good. So today I came back, and since it's been 2 years since my last video, I thought maybe I should redraw my old drawings. And I haven't drawn digitally since, but I feel like I've gotten a bit better in other aspects. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing with the first. I'm gonna start with the first drawing and see how much I improved, but I could tell it's not gonna be that good because I've been lacking in the digital department and the coloring, because I don't really color when I do it on my sketchbook. So I was really struggling. I was barely starting with the drawing, and I was already struggling because I cannot sketch with my finger on my phone. I find that so difficult, and I was starting from scratch. I wasn't taking a picture and then using that to trace it on my phone. No, I was starting from zero, and I was really struggling. But after a while, I got something I didn't like it, but I mean, it was better than the last few attempts. So I went ahead with that one and maybe thought the coloring would help it. But to be honest, I can't really blame it on the phone, since there's a lot of talented artists online who can easily draw on the phone with no problems at all. But after a while, I feel like I got the hang of it, but not really. Coloring wasn't that bad. I watched a bunch of tutorials and feel like I went with the one that I think would help my coloring. And I had to start by coloring it in grayscale and then adding color to it using the modes on layers. I had to go around and keep changing the opacity of the layers until I got a color I liked. I mean, it wasn't too hard, but after a while, I couldn't really get a tone that was exactly like the old drawings. And then I wasn't sure if the colors were good together. I don't know. I just didn't like the purple tank top and the blue shorts or whatever she's wearing. I wanted to change it, so I made the shorts a bit darker. But besides that, I didn't really change much. Once I got the colors I liked, I began to render. Rendering was just me trying to make it look nice. I had no idea what was I doing. But then after that, I started adding multiply layer using a purple color and making that as the cast shadows. Once I colored with the color purple, the place where I wanted the shadows, I lowered the opacity until I got something I liked. After that, I just tweaked a little bit the drawing, and then I began doing the background. I had no idea what to do. I wanted to do something different, but at the end of the drawing, I made something similar to it and adding a white outline until I got something I liked, even though I really didn't. And I finished the drawing. Here is the comparison to the new drawing next to the other two old ones. After that one, I'm going with the second drawing. This one is an old OC I had, which I completely forgot about. So anyways, I start with the sketch. This one I actually drew this one first, but I decided to put them in the same order as the other video. So this character, she doesn't have a name, but she is an old OC of mine. And every time I look at her, I always get embarrassed. I cringe. Because she used to be a Mary Sue. She used to be a Mary Sue. She used to be a half demon. She used to have wings, bat wings. She used to have horns. And she was a high schooler who was secretly a superhero. And she was the chosen one to carry this gem and travel dimensions to help save other people. She was an OC to multiple shows, like those inserts from like Demon Slayer and that type of stuff. She was one of those, except I would use her for every show I was obsessed with because, well, she was a Mary Sue. But now back to the drawing. I did the same process by coloring this coloring. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I did this by doing this. Man, I don't know what to say anymore, but I did it in grayscale and started rendering it just like the other one. This one isn't as bad as the first one. I feel like I like this one better. And I decided to draw her in a different angle instead of just looking forward. I don't know. I wanted to add something different but also make it look like her in my style. I feel like this drawing is a good representation of how I draw in my sketchbook. And to be honest, I really liked the way she looked in grayscale. I don't know. I just like the way she looked. I like how the shadows are. It's just very well thought out. After that, I started adding colors using modes. I forgot what the modes are called, but I'll try to put it in the video if I don't forget. Or I'll give a tutorial, even though I'm not one to give tutorials because I'm really new at this. So I began adding color and adding a bit of blush to it because she looked pale. And with the same thing with the last drawing, I did not like the color combinations of the clothing and the hair. I did not know how to fix it. But I feel like I kept it similar to the old drawings. I sort of feel like I drew her ponytail longer than I should have. But I kind of like it though. Once I added color, I started rendering a bit more, adding details, painting the hair with the slight color of the skin tone, and then I began working with the background. I did not know what to do with the background, so I just added a green box in the back and tried adding a little bit of green to the drawing to make it blend in a little bit more, but I feel like the background ruined it now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, here is the final drawing. I think it's better than the first one. And here's the drawing compared to the last two old drawings. I feel like I gotten better. I feel like you can tell in this one, my style changed. Here is the next drawing of what I think is a girl in the forest holding a dead butterfly. It looks dead. Okay, but I'm gonna draw it alive because that was my intention when I was younger. This drawing was one of the first drawings I made when I got Ibis paint. All of them are actually. But this one, I was exploring with the textures, if you can't tell by the fur on the girl's dress. And the other drawing I did of this girl in the forest, I changed it because I did not think having a fur dress in the forest would not be a good combination, because I thought about those little leaves that stick to clothing, especially to fur, and it's a pain to get out. So to change and add a bit of context, I decided to make this girl an elf girl. I decided to give her more of a whimsical dress, a long dress, to make it look like she's an elf, a forest elf. I don't know. I just wanted to add a little bit of story to the drawing. But as you can tell, I started this drawing differently. Instead of starting it with a sketch, I decided to go ahead and start painting with it. Trying to see if it would turn out better, because I watched the tutorial. I watched a bunch of them, okay? And I tried a different method. I wanted to try something different. But I struggled, so I did a little sketch just for the head, and I painted the rest of the drawing, which is probably why it doesn't look too good. I dislike this drawing. It has so much potential. I feel like it looks better in grayscale. It had so much potential, and I ruined it. Well, that's my opinion. Well, I struggled with the background. And the last drawing of this girl in the forest, the background, it's blurred out, but it looks good. So I decided to leave the background for like that for now, and decided to continue with the little elf girl. The dress, I copied the dress from Pinterest. So if you see a dress similar to that, well, now you know where I got it from. So I did the thing about adding color with the layered modes again, and I was not sure what color green to put the dress in, but I decided to leave it like this nice greenish darkish color. I was between leaving it into that color and more of a dry green. I don't know how to explain greens. I don't know the name of the colors. So after putting on the colors, I decided to start rendering like I did in the last few drawings, trying to make it look better, trying to match the colors a bit more to the old drawing despite changing a lot. I feel like I was very quick with this one. I added shadows in the multiply layer with the color blue, and then after that I added some warm highlight, cool shadows and warm highlight, and then after that I started doing the background. As you can see, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just using textured brushes and painting here, doing a little bit of this over here and a little bit of that over there. I don't know. I did not like it. I really did not like the drawing. This one is my least favorite. After blurring it out and realizing it did not look as good as the last one, I tried again. And I feel like this one came out much better. But once I was almost finished, I was about to put the photo, download the picture, and I realized I forgot the butterfly. The butterfly was the main point of the drawing. So instead of drawing a very cartoony looking butterfly, I grabbed a reference for once instead of just freehanding it like I did with the other two. Here is the final drawing. I don't like it too much, so now I'm skipping to the comparison. Now that I'm looking at the comparison, what I do like is the fact that the lighting is much better in the drawing I did. The drawing I did right now. The lighting is better. And the dress is better too. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I forgot the gloves. Oh. How could I forget the gloves? No wonder she looked so weird. Well, anyway, those are the drawings for today's video. I will keep uploading. I'll try my best this time. This time it's not a lie. I'm actually working on another video right now. And as a matter of fact, I would like y'all to recommend editing your videos, because I was gonna upload this video much earlier, but the video wouldn't export. It wouldn't download on the editing video. On the editing app I was editing this video, I could not get it to download, so I had to start all over again, which is why this video is a much lazier. But I will also try to get better at my editing. I'll try to make it more neater and stuff like that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll come back to you with a next one. Leave comments, like, subscribe. I don't know. I'm new to this. Just interact. It'll motivate me.